Yeah, hi, this is Steve Ladd again with, I believe it's my 12th installment on this building of attacking proa. And as usual, it's proceeding slowly but steadily. And so it's the things that still were necessary to be done before the deck was put on. And so first I'd like to point out the means by which the hatch cover hardware are attached to the structure of the boat. So first I want to show you the hardware and the means by which the hardware of the main hatch will be attached. The main hatch is a larger one that goes into what I call the passage berth. It's a berth nominally large enough for somebody to sleep in. And so here are the fittings by which these cam clamps will be attached to the structure of the boat. There has to be a firm attachment to the framework, and they will clamp down a hatch that's more or less square here. The fittings on the opposite side are identical. So this hatch has no hinges. It just has 4 cam clamps. And when this hatch is open, it will lift up off of a coaming, a short coaming, and slide forward, being controlled by bungee cords, and it'll fit, and then it'll come back up against the coaming like this. So the coaming will stop it in the forward open position and sit it there. So that's what I might call the main hatch. Now I'll show the aft hatches. Okay, this is the aft end of the cockpit, and so just aft of the cockpit are 2 hatches, both also about square. And there's one here and one there. They're identical on port and starboard sides. They're different from the main hatch in that they are hinged hatches. The hinges will be on the outboard edge of the hatch. So the hatch will open like this. And these are the fittings by which the hinges are attached. In the aft, there's a bracket that I've installed. On the forward hinge will bolt through this deck piece here. And the cam clamp ends of these are very similar to what you saw on the main hatch. They're bolted. They're pieces that are going to be bolted through and bonded to the decks, and they will clamp like that. So that's the hatch hardware, but with just one more thing to point out. In addition to these 3 hatches, which I have to build myself, there are 4 more. These are the Armstrong 10-inch by 20-inch hatches. There will be 2 of these towards the bow and 2 of these towards the stern. So I'll show you with respect to the one near the stern, and that's right here. This is the opening of where this hatch will be. And this hatch goes in here and bonds to the deck. It doesn't bond, but it attaches to the deck with a seal. The question is what to do with these hatches when they're open, so as they don't lose them overboard or whatever. And the solution here is that they will have lanyards attached to them, like here and here. And then when you open it, you pivot it end over end like this, and these are the pad eyes to which those lanyards will be tied. So this will open like this, and you put it like that, and it'll just sit there because the lanyards are sort of short. You can hold it until you close it again. So that's the hardware for the hatches. Now I will show you the deck panels, which are largely made already. We're going to walk out to the front yard for that. Okay, these are the deck panels. These are the forward deck panels. The cockpit would be where I'm standing. This is the main hatch into what I call the pilot berth. This is one of the 10 by 20 Armstrong hatches. This is the other. Then this is the aft. These are the aft panels. So again, I'm standing where the cockpit would be. These are the 2 square hatches aft of the cockpit, and these are the 2 10 by 20 Armstrongs aft of that. And so these panels are ready to be bonded. They are faced on their underside, what you see upside down are the underside of the panels. They're already faced with 12-ounce fiberglass. They will be bonded in place on the deck and then sheathed all over with 18-ounce. And that's my status now. Obviously the next thing, I don't think there's any further steps between now and me putting these boats on, these panels on. I'll bond them on to the hull. So that's my update as of July 19, 2026. Thank you.